Well, if the recent earthquakes haven't convinced you to prepare for the big one, state officials will try their best today.
It's the Great California Shakeout. CBS 2's Louisa Hodge is live in La Mirada with important information to keep your family safe.
Guys, this is the 5th year of the Great California earthquake here, of the shakeout, and 10 million people are going to be taking part in this across the state today. We are lucky enough to take part of that as well. Biola University, this is the first time they have actually done this shakeout here, so we are going to kind of give you a little preview of what it's going to be like for you. I'm already shaking before the shaking's even begun. So with me is Margaret Vinci from Caltech. So tell me a little bit about what we can expect when people are going to be taking part in this type of shakeout today.
Well, at 10:16 on 10:16, we've asked everybody to drop, cover, and hold on to then practice.
Oh my gosh. Wow. This computer actually almost fell on you, so I'm really glad you were hiding underneath here. Are you okay, Margaret?
And this is exactly what you want to do, is you want to know your safe place ahead of time, so when the earth starts to shake, you don't have time to think about it. But the more you practice, the more your body instinctively will do it. So I already knew that this was where I was going, so I went under there. This is what we want people to do, to get under something that's going to protect them. You see how this computer...
I'm really glad you went, and that wasn't supposed to do that, right?
But that's exactly what we want people to do, so their bodies know what to do when the earth shakes.
And take a look at some of the damage. These are things that kind of fell off the shelves here. And when we're talking about earthquakes, a lot of time the injuries do come from things flying off shelves, falling down. So is this the type of thing you'll be talking about today?
Exactly. This is exactly what people need to be prepared for. They need to secure these items so they don't fall, because when the energy is in that room from that earthquake, then everything will be flying around. So we don't want people to run outside because they'll be hit by flying objects, to automatically get into that safe place to protect themselves from damage.
And you know, we were prepared for that. We knew the shaking was coming, so we were ready to drop down on the ground. But I mean, you saw how strong that shake was, so you can imagine if that catches you off guard, definitely a very different situation.
It is, but the more you practice, the more your body instinctively will respond to that.
And this is going to be taking part in government buildings, in schools today, in different businesses, nonprofits, even media outlets across the state today and across the world, in fact. Tell me about the key thing you hope people will get out of this today.
That they will then be prepared. They make themselves more prepared, that they know where their safe place is, they know how to drop, cover, hold on, but they also look at their plan. So they look at their plan at home, at work, and at play. Do they have supplies in their car? So if they can't get home, are they able to then have supplies in that car? Do they have supplies at work so that they can shelter in place?
Okay, thank you so much, Margaret, for joining us. And again, a great idea to have a plan, especially here in earthquake country. Back to you guys.
Yeah, Louisa, I just want to ask quickly, though, too, what about if we have small kids in a room, and what's good advice to give them when this happens to them in the middle of the night?
Margaret, they're asking us what advice you have if there's small children in the room.
If there's small children, well, first of all, if it's at night, everybody stays in bed. And so you pull the covers up over your head, put a pillow over your head, and you stay in bed until the shaking stops. Under your bed, you've put shoes. You tie those shoes to the underside of the bed so that when you get out of bed, you're not walking on glass. That's part of the plan, so that parents aren't running down the hallway to their children and they're slammed against the walls, and by the time they get to them, they got broken legs, broken arms, broken collarbones. And so with children, what you do is talk to them. Talk to them now. And that's what Shakeout is all about. When people get home from work, to then sit down with their family, talk about when it starts to shake, what does that mean? It is the earth, its rocks moving, and then have them prepared so that when it happens, they don't panic.
And there will be a lot of children today participating in this shakeout. Back to you guys.